In Roblox Horror Fans X, there are so many event towers. Some of them are unobtainable when some of them are obtainable at the moment. In this video, you will find out a tier list where I will be ranking every event tower in the game. Let's start the video by describing what is an event tower. So basically, event towers are exclusive towers which are obtainable for a limited amount of time. For example, in the Christmas 2023 event, they added the Cryo Ranger tower. She was exclusive and only obtainable for free from that Christmas event. Of course, there are other ways to obtain the event towers. You can just buy them with Robux when they are on sale. But if you want to buy an event tower, you need to wait until the next time a sale will happen. There is no way to guess when will that be, so you better try your chance and be patient. I think right now you should have some basic information about the event towers in Horror Fans X. We can finally start ranking every single event tower in the game. I will rank the event towers with their unique abilities, most efficient ways to use, and most importantly, my opinion about the towers. We have so many towers to rank in this video. I mean, I made a video like this before where I ranked every single tower in the game. Keep in mind that the video was created a while ago, so things may be a little bit different than how it is right now, but you can still watch it. It's a good video and I recommend it. Anyways, let's get back to ranking the towers now. It will be very interesting. Make sure to watch the video until the end, because trust me, it will be worth your time. First of all, we will start with one of my favorite event towers in the game. What do you think it is? Of course, it's the Flame Trooper. This event tower was added to the game in the Halloween 2024 event. You can already know it will burn everything on the way. The Flame Trooper is an amazing crowd control tower. From level 0 to level 5, this tower is a decent tower to use for any part of the game. It can be a good support tower or a good DPS tower depending on the way you are using it. There are a few bad things about this tower, such as lack of stat detection. Even on the max level, this tower doesn't have stat detection, and of course, it doesn't ignore fire resistance, so it will deal very less damage to the enemies with fire resistance. But let's get back to the good stuff now. It can make the enemies take extra damage. On the max level, it can make enemies take 20% extra damage, which can be really awesome. However, that ability doesn't apply to bosses. It has one more ability where it creates a ring of fire and deals lots of damage to every single enemy inside the range. I think that's really why I will rank this tower in the B tier. You were probably thinking I would rank it higher, but there are lots of more overpowered event towers in the game we have to talk about first. Next up, we have one of the best towers in the game. It deals 0 damage, you heard me right. 0 damage, 0 DPS, no range, nothing but one single ability. This tower is a dummy, which means it only has one purpose, and that is baiting the enemy attacks. It is very overpowered, right? I mean, it kinda is. It's an amazing tower to bait any type of attack in the game, but how were you able to obtain this tower? Same as the Flame Trooper, it was obtainable from Halloween 2024 event. At the time, this tower used to give 5% damage boost to nearby towers. That was kind of funny, not going to lie, because you know, this guy is the cheapest tower in the game. You can place so many Scarecrows with just a few thousands of money. Placing hundreds of Scarecrows with damage boost wasn't really a good idea, it was causing loss of luck. Because of that, the damage boost was removed in a later update. It's not really that special, but I will place it next to the Flame Trooper, I guess. What else do we have? Oh my goodness, it's the Icebreaker, a female event tower. I mean, this tower is very impressive. It was obtainable from Christmas 2024 event. It's a melee tower which is very similar to the Slammer, but this time, this tower is able to freeze the enemies. It can be used for early game easily because you know, it's very cheap. But the range of it is really tiny and it doesn't have stat detection on any level. That's really why I don't recommend using it for early game. However, it can be decent in the late game, because you know, it can freeze bosses and deal 150% extra damage to frozen enemies. It also has two different abilities on the max level. One of them is the Ice Shard ability. It summons an Ice Shard on the path, which works like a barricade. Second ability is the Snowstorm. It applies a great amount of freeze to every enemy within the range. So because of how unique it is, I will place it as the first A tier tower. Should we talk about a spawner tower? Which one first? Z or Relic? I will go with Z. This spawner tower was obtainable from Torpedoes event in 2024. It was added from another Tor fans game, Torpedoes. That's the reason that is my favorite spawner tower in the game. Despite all of that, it's a typical spawner tower, but this tower is definitely a monster. On the early levels, it only has a minigun, and after second level, it can fire missiles. The max level is really the most important because it has a laser minigun, so many missiles, and 10,000 health. It's not all about that. It deals nearly 3000 DPS. That's really insane for a single unit, and considering the health, it can be in the S tier. Before we start talking about the next event tower, please make sure to subscribe to the channel and smash that like button for more videos like this. They take me a very long time to make. Thank you for your support. It really means a lot to me. Let's get back to the video. What was the other spawner tower? Oh my goodness, it's the Relic. This tower is the real monster. It literally summons a monster on the max level. This guy, which is the Overseer, deals no damage, but it has 100,000 health. That's really insane, right? That's literally the definition of a monster. It's a very unique spawner tower because it is able to summon bunch of different type of things, starting from bandits to archers and even wardens with battle axes. Perhaps from the theme of the tower, you can easily guess it was obtainable from the Halloween 2024 event. Despite being people's favorite in the Halloween event, the problem with this tower is that in the late game, it is almost useless. Especially, knights and archers are really vast of money in the late game. The Overseer is the only thing that will be worth your money. If we are going to compare Zed and Relic, Zed is very decent in the early game, and especially in the late game, it is very overpowered. So that's why I will place this tower in the A tier next to the Icebreaker. We got one more female event tower. It's the Cryo Ranger. She's basically Ranger but with ice, with freeze, and it's a female, not a male. Anyways, this tower is the first event tower in the game. It was obtainable from Christmas 2023 event by beating the Exosanta. It's the only event tower in the game which has dual path of upgrades, which makes her more exclusive than the other event towers. It can drop grenades, but this time, the grenade can freeze the enemies. It doesn't deal so much damage, but with her freezing capabilities, this tower is really decent. Despite all of this, it is shut off by other cryo towers like Icebreaker and Cryo Blaster. Because of this, I will place it in the C tier. Here we are, the last two event towers in the list. We are starting with the Cryo Helicopter. This tower is really overpowered. It was obtainable from the Christmas 2024 event. It's a helicopter but with freeze and ice. It can make the enemies take extra damage and decrease the speed of frozen enemies by a lot. This helicopter is a tower which can freeze the bosses in the game very easily with no problem. It also ignores ice resistance, which makes it even better. Despite all of the good stuff, there is one single bad thing. This tower doesn't have the pursuit mode. Because of that, you have to control the helicopter yourself, which can be boring sometimes, but I will still put it in the S tier. For the last tower in the list, we have one of the support towers in the game. It's the Commander, one of my favorite support towers. This tower was obtainable from Torpedoes 2024 event. It has a very large range compared to other support towers like EDJ. It can give damage boost and range boost to the towers and has 3 different abilities. Cold Arms ability gives 30% damage boost to every tower within the range for 20 seconds. Striker ability summons an armored vehicle with 800 health. Last ability, the airstrike, causing a fighter jet to drop a bomb. This bomb deals 2000 damage to a very large area, which makes it amazing for crowd control. Considering all of the boost and even 3 amazing abilities, I will rank this tower in the S tier. In my opinion, Commander is the best event tower in the game. Let me know in the comments if you think Commander is the best event tower and tell me what you think about my tier list. Also, I really like all of the event towers in the game. They all are unique in very different ways, which makes them really exclusive for those people who got their hands on them. But anyways, I hope the video was entertaining and informative. Thank you for watching until the end. Make sure to subscribe and thumbs up if you want to see more videos like this. Have a good day or night. I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.